Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Mr. Vegeta with another video. And this time I'm going to try and do a video on the history of silver stacking. And I have a 5-year chart of SLV starting around 2008 over here. Around that time the markets were just about to crash. Silver was 20, then as the markets crashed, silver went down to 10, a little under 10. Gold was around 700 bucks. And the catalyst that really kick-started silver stacking was a video by Robert Kiyosaki and Mike Maloney. And I'm going to show you a little clip of the Robert Kiyosaki video. I looked around for the other videos, but I couldn't find it anymore, but here it is.
The reason gold is so important, gold and silver, is because gold and silver is God's money. It's money made by God. And then in 1971, the U.S. government, under President Nixon, took God's money and turned it into man-made money. Never in the history of the world, this is the thing, never in the history of the world has this ever happened. In 1971, the U.S. and Nixon convinced the entire world to replace gold and silver with paper money. This stuff. Cash is trash. So the reason we have so much volatility in the world today is historically, since the time of the Romans and the Greeks and the French and the English and the Germans, every time they have taken God's money, like silver here, and replaced it with man-made money, there's been economic volatility. Now the problem is, so the dollar is going to keep dropping. So one of the reasons I can predict what's going to happen is I can predict the dollar will keep dropping simply because the U.S. government and now the euro, the European central banks, are printing so much of this trash.
Okay, so after Robert's video that came out, a lot of people wanted more information about how to invest in gold and silver. So people flocked over to Mike Maloney's book, and this is probably one of the few books that were out at the time. Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver, Everything You Need to Know to Profit from Precious Metal Now, Mike Maloney, right? So we were reading this, and a lot of people had read this book, and maybe some others. But like, you talk to just your average people, nobody really could relate to what we were talking about. You know, it's like, hey, money is not really money like we thought it was. You know, gold and silver is real money. And people will be like, the dollar is real money, not gold and silver. And there's a whole thing going on there. And the concept of the dollar crashing was like absurd to people at the time. But more and more, people needed some outlet, something else, some other venue to talk about this stuff. So we started going to YouTube.
Hey guys, John here with a silver update. So obviously I woke up this morning to see the Friday action. Went to bed, silver was like 49.12. So I was thinking it's got a stab at 50. Check the gold price first on SpotMex. That's what comes up first. And gold was at 1,563.
Where are we in this silver cycle? I haven't heard that question about silver cycle in a little while. So I can't tell you really where we are from a price point of view, but others have given projections, of course. Like, for example, Moments in Trading, who leaves a lot of comments. He does a lot of videos about mines, supply of silver from mines, the industry using silver. And I think he does very good analysis on those aspects.
I just got out of Bank of America. I just pulled out all my money out of Bank of America, took all of it out, all my Federal Reserve notes out, and who do I find out that they gave Times Man of the Year? Who did I find out? Ben freaking Bernanke. That's who they made Times Man of the Year. The guy that's been printing these out with billions and trillions, destroying our currency, giving all our money away to all the banks. That's who they made Time Man of the Year.
I thought I've seen it all in the silver market until this morning. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. You could not have made me believe this.
What you're about to embark upon is unlike any other experience you've ever had. We are going to travel throughout history and question every single principle that you have. We do this so we can understand our world. The reason why it's going to be unlike any other experience you've ever had is that I'm going to insist that you question and critically think about all the information that I present to you. Don't believe anything I say unless you can confirm it and that it resonates with something in your soul.
Okay, so as we were tuning into people's YouTube channels like Raw Dog, Silver Futurist, John, Stellar Concepts, Chris Dwayne, right around here, September of 2010, silver took to the bullish move, really bullish. Within, less than 2 years, it went from 18 to 48. Very, very steep increase. And it seems to be the case when things go up in price like that, the herd follows afterwards. So I'm going to show you, I got to tilt the camera a little bit. Right down here, you see the volume over here. The volume spikes here. And it's in coincide with this high of the, silver price there. Now, I don't know what made this silver price go up like that. Perhaps you guys might know. Some of you might know all the details a little better than me. But that's what happened in those 2 years. Now, for those who sold their silver around here, in this high area, I think Stellar Concepts sold some of his silver. I remember watching one of his videos. And even Raw Dog sold somewhere around here. I'm not sure exactly where, but he sold at a high as well. And so, I think some of the people that were following them, were giving them a lot of slack for selling it at these prices because we thought we were going to go even higher. But that turned out to be a very, very good move, because for silver to go from 18 to 48 in 2 years, that's just too much too soon. We all thought that there's going to be a bullish ride all the way to the top. Even watching Mike Maloney's videos kind of gives you the impression that it would. But now we've been having a downturn here since. There's been a downturn. I don't know. Just right now, it's not looking good. I just saw a Silver Futurist video last night. He's worried that silver could go down to 14. But I don't know, I'm just going to use this ruler here and show you from 18 on, if we had a relatively steady increase, silver should be around $40 right here. Okay, so I just pointed to $40 with the ruler before, and during these 5 years, many people have been projecting the price of silver where it's going to go. I've seen Mike Maloney make a huge purchase when silver was like at 28, thinking it was going to go higher. I've seen Brother John F's videos of his projections. I've seen Chris Dwayne do a chart a few times, thinking that it might go up from 28 on. And a lot of the times we tend to assume wrong, and that's just the nature of how investors are. The market assessment of silver or any investment, we can make mistakes very easily, mainly because of how we want things to project and how we want things to come out, rather than how things play out as they are. All right? And another thing, just a bunch of other things we learned over the past 5 years. We learned that there's silver manipulation. So when there's some silver manipulation, how can we really project where silver is going to go, right? There's no real fundamentals. We talk about supply and demand and all that, but if it's manipulated, we got to factor that in more than anything else, right? And then we see there's a difference in paper and physical silver prices. We see that. We also went through just-in-time inventory issues, where when silver prices get hammered, you see the premium still really, really high. It just doesn't come down as much as it should. A lot of the dealers will continue to keep their premiums even higher as the silver price keeps going low, right? And we also talked about high premium and low premium silver coins. That's one video I did before. A lot of people had great things to say about it. There are pros and cons to both, and I will do another video on that later as to which one is better. Yeah, I think that's where we're at right now. So 5 years of silver stacking in the making. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos to come. Bye.